Welcome once again back to the Gafford and Brown Show. I'm Lamar Gafford,
And I'm Robert Brown.
and today's show we got ourselves a very good one talking about what happened in Week 4 in the NFL, Week 5 in the college football ranks. Also trying to get down with the Cowboys and Broncos game as well. So I know that you guys really would love to hear that. But first, let's start things off with Week 4's matchups. Um, Getting the chance to see everything what really impressed you in Week 4 this week, Rob?
Um, I would have to say I was mostly impressed with the New England Patriots and how they beat an Atlanta team that a lot of people thought would start off hot and go on to have success in the playoffs. They beat them, with a group of nobody's at receiver, and then just Brady in the brain doing it again with what they have, drafting well, and if you look at it now, they're 4-0, and people are wondering how.
Exactly. I think that was probably one of the more impressive games right there because we both picked. I think we both basically picked Atlanta to come out there and win that game with them being at home. And did I really give the Patriots a chance here? And then, well, it just seemed like here the Patriots. Tom Brady finds a way to win. The hoodie finds a way to win and everything. Tom Brady's stat line was 20 for 31, 316 yards, 2 touchdowns. Basically, they matched Atlanta tit for tat on offense.
Hmm.
So, I mean, right now, uh, I guess right now with those receivers that he has, they can only get better. And also with the fact of the matter that, well, Gronkowski could be coming back, and Danny Amendola could be coming back any minute now too. I mean, with those additions with the Patriots, I mean that's probably going to make them a whole lot better and probably a better team coming in this time forward and stuff, right?
Right, you would think so. The passing attack, even though it's not as heralded as it once was, still is effective. And with those pieces coming back, you only can you only can look up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think things are going to improve for them. And with their division being kind of weak right now, their only worry really is Miami. And we saw last night that Miami, they if you can put the points of Miami looks like they have a hard time trying to keep up with fast offenses. And New England can implement that no huddle. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, they're still the favorite to win the division.
Right. I still would give uh, the Patriots at least this year to win the division, and I think then maybe the Dolphins will come in there and take over because what we saw last night, the Dolphins still a very good team and everything, but I still think that they are a young team. They're still learning. They're still trying to get used to the game and everything. So, give them a year, they'll probably be able to challenge for that division. But I mean, hey, the Patriots, they're still going to be the number one team as they flexed and they showed out there on that game. Now, also in the game here, the Falcons being 1-3, surprising.
Yeah, that's something surprising about a lot of people. A lot of people didn't expect that to happen, but you're looking at some growing pains right now, and you're starting to wonder if things are going to turn around because it's only going to get harder. Um, they still have to play the Saints again. They have to play a Carolina team that's not a rollover. They I don't know. They're just not clicking right now. I expect them to get things back together, but it's not looking that promising right now.
Right, and 1-3 and 3 games behind the Saints is really nowhere where the Falcons wanted to be, and nowhere where Falcons fans and probably NFL fans also expected them to be. Um, they lost to three pretty good teams. I mean, to be honest with you, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. Only problem is, even though 2 of those games were on the road, you did lose the Patriots here in a game that you probably should have had that probably could have jump started your season. Now, we'll see what happens as far as the latter part of the season is. I think it's going to be a little bit of they get a little bit of an easy stretch before week 10. They got the Jets next week. They got a bye week. Then they got the not the Broncos, but the Buccaneers, Cardinals, Panthers. Possibly they could probably try to get themselves back in there and position themselves back into the place. But right now, being 1-3, it's not looking good. And I think the other thing is too, they really need to get some of their players back healthy.
Yeah, Steven Jackson's hurt now, and it's looking it's looking kind of sluggish right now. I think they'll be able to pick it back up once they get their guys healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they just got to turn around sooner or later. I think they'll be all right though.
Right. I mean, I still think that they're still a playoff team. They still can put themselves right back into this race. I mean, they still got that high-powered offense. Sometimes their defense can be a little bit, can get burnt a little bit here. They've given up, I mean, the 26 most passing yards, but they're a pretty good run defense. And it's just that when they get, if they get, like you said, if they get everything back situated here, they probably can get themselves back into this race. I feel like that they will. I really wouldn't panic, to be honest with you, if I were you, because I mean, you still got Matt Ryan, you still got Julio Jones. When Roddy White gets ready, when he gets back healthy, and I'm pretty sure after the bye week, we'll probably see the Roddy White old out there. I mean, hey, I think the Falcons, they're going to be pretty good at that point.
Right, I agree as well.
Now, other things that were also pretty, I guess to say impressive and all that stuff too. Looking at the slate here, it's like right now too. Break up the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns, a team a lot of us put down, especially when they traded, their best player offensively, and their starting quarterback is injured. They look better. They have 2 wins in a row, and it's just looking. I'm impressed. Now, will they continue this momentum? Who knows? The league changes week to week. There's going to be more tape on this guy. Who knows? But I'm confident that now they made the right decision.
Hey, I gotta agree with you. I mean, right now anything's better than Brandon Wheaton with his old self. But really, I didn't expect much from Brandon Hoyer. I was one of those people that probably thought, well, like you, I was thinking here, Browns tanking, yeah, pretty much tanking everything, fire sale. Pretty much that's just it. And I'm not going to say that he's probably the guy that's going to be the future quarterback of this team because, you may never know, but I don't think he is, but he's a good quarterback for right now. But these two strong games that he's had, last game, 25 for 38, 269 yards. They beat a Bengals team right now, and the surprising thing is, the Browns are in first place in the North. Who would have seen that one coming, actually?
Wow, really?
Yes, tied with the Bengals.
Wow.
Tied with the Bengals. So, who really would have seen that one coming? But it's just that the Browns here, like you said, they have a pretty decent team that is on, they have a pretty decent team. Young players that need to try to reach their potential. Their defense is pretty good, but nobody would have expected that. And just how they've shown out there over the past couple of weeks, been impressed.
Yeah, they're definitely looking solid.
Right. Now, am I going to say that they're probably going to make it to the playoffs? No, I don't think they'll make it to the playoffs. But they will be in the games. They will be in games. I still think so. It's going to be interesting to see what we're going to see about the Browns here in that one. I think the management has a step in the right direction, and they probably made the right move. Now, as far as the teams that really impressed us, there are also some teams that also disappointed us as well. Give us a disappointment.
The Pittsburgh Steelers losing in London was disappointing because if this was any week you wanted to get a win, this was it. Um, Philadelphia Eagles, man, laying that. I mean, granted, people were expecting Denver to win anyway, but to go out like that, that's pretty embarrassing. Um, who else? The New York Giants still winless, still look lost. Tom Coughlin's rant after the game was pretty epic, so maybe they could turn them around. In the continued struggles of Tampa Bay and the Josh Freeman side, man, it's getting bad down there. Hopefully, they'll be able to let the guy go and find a new home because it's getting ugly.
Yeah, about that. I mean, I think they just got to move him and move him fast, really. And I know they're trying to get the best possible deal here, but I don't. I think the best thing for that situation is both sides, both parties. They really need to move away and move away ASAP, because does not look like you said, this does not look like it's going to get better any day here, and it just seems like right now. I mean, people are leaking out information about Josh Freeman, and I don't find that's really fair to the guy, to be honest with you. And and I never would have thought that the Steelers would be an 0-4, and I never would have thought the Giants would be 0-4 actually.
Yeah, me neither. Nah, not at all.
Yeah, and it just seems like we're like in the twilight zone basically here. I'll probably go ahead and give you another disappointment from one of the games that I saw. Also, the Texans, they really disappointed.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that one. That was definitely disappointing. They had the game on and just handed it over.
Right. I mean, you're up 20-3 at halftime. You're up 20-13 in the fourth quarter. Late in the fourth quarter here, basically, and you choose to throw the ball, and you throw the ball to one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, in Richard Sherman, and he picks sixes you. I mean, it's kind of inexcusable. It's kind of crazy here too, because now you got people in Houston also burning Matt Schaub jerseys, which I don't know if that's really warranted or not, because one, I mean, how much you pay for these jerseys in the first place, and just two, but it's really getting bad out there, and I just really feel like that. Again, I've said this a whole lot of times. If Schaub doesn't do it this year, he's pretty much gone.
Yeah. This might be his last year in Houston if he doesn't get it done this year. Especially with this draft having so many quarterbacks. I just think that he makes mistakes that are really beneath him. He should be making mistakes, with as long as he's been in the league. It's embarrassing almost, and it's unfortunate for their defense too to play the game they played, and, staying on the field getting tired and then have him give that pick six away and then leading to overtime.
Right. I mean, and I think you even said it too on the show and also outside of the show too. Texas should be 0-4 right now.
Yeah, they really should be. I've seen a lot of close calls that San Diego comeback they pulled off. The overtime win against Tennessee. They got punched in the mouth against Baltimore. And now this loss, this game they gave away practically. Yeah, they should really be. They could easily be 0-4. And then you have the Colts who look great. Made the deal for Trent Richardson, and they're on your heels. So Houston, if they don't turn around and stay focused, they could be fighting for a wild card instead of a division title.
Right. And right now, the Colts, they're not gonna go they're not going anywhere anytime fast, because like you said, with the Trent Richardson deal here, they just got themselves better. And the Texans not only just have to worry about the Colts, but they also have to worry about another surprise team out here, the Titans, which are 3-1, and if not for Houston really coming back and taking that game from the from the jaws of defeat. Titans could be 4-0 right now, and that would have been also one of the more shocking things too.
Right, and you also have to wonder what their fate's going to be like with Jake Locker being out for at least a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's going to be interesting because now Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be their quarterback. He has been a guy that's been turning over the ball, has been turnover prone since he's been as a starter when he was with the Bills. And one of the things here about the Titans has been they've been 3-1 and they haven't turned over the ball once, surprisingly. And you just gotta hope that if he does have turnovers, he minimizes them, and the Titans can keep things going. And looking at the schedule here, about for that, for the next month here, because really the Titans have kind of impressed us by beating some teams that they really shouldn't have beat. They got Kansas City next week. Then they got Seattle. Then they got San Francisco. And it's going to be it's going to be murderer's row right here for Fitzpatrick. And I think if they can probably stick around there and probably win at least one of those games or something, they probably could still put themselves in the position for a playoff spot, which not too many people with this all didn't. And pretty much other things also from this week too, Peyton Manning show.
Yeah.
Just goes without saying.
Yeah, another great onslaught by Peyton Manning and his receiving core, and right now they look like the second coming of the greatest show on turf. Just an all-around domination of Philadelphia, and you're right. I mean, easily they're the number one offense in the league. Peyton Manning is looking like the front runner for the MVP award, and they look pretty good. So we'll see how they continue to look week to week. They have a big game for Dallas this week, who had a win against San Diego and looked until the fourth. What were your thoughts about that game?
Oh man, I felt like that we kind of gave it up during the game too. Secondary was playing a little bit like the secondary of old, getting burnt on plays. Danny Woodhead had two touchdowns in the game, and Antonio Gates had a long receiving touchdown that basically when I saw it, I just could not. I was just frozen. I was like, what happened here? Had a chance to win the game though with Terrence Williams, and I can understand the kid trying to make a play, trying to get himself a touchdown, but in that situation, you kind of don't want to give up the ball, and unfortunately he did, and unfortunately it just went up with the Cowboys' chances here. So, but the good thing is 2-2, and also the other good thing is too, the NFC East is just that bad that the Cowboys are still in first place. So I guess if there's one consolation that you can give out there, that's it. So I think here that's going to be pretty much will do it from the NFL side. Let's also talk about it from the college football side too, where we also had our share of very good games last weekend too, and starting off with LSU Georgia.
Yeah, the instant classic that was. Pretty much Aaron Murray and Menberg got the NFL highlight reel going, and they definitely look like the cream of the crop. If Menberg decides to come out this year, we know Murray's leaving, but if both of them decide to come out, I couldn't see, even with Mansell being him and Bridgewater. I think right now Menberg and Murray put themselves at 1 and 2 as far as quarterback goes.
Right, and Mettenberger, I guess he's been the best beneficiary of the whole thing of having Cam Cameron out there, because this season he's looked very good, and he's looked like better than any quarterback that LSU has had in quite some while. And I probably would go ahead and I might be safe to say it since the Jamarcus Russell days. And yes, he was a very good college quarterback for you kids out there that just look at the Oakland Raiders stats. But and just looking at it too, also from Georgia, Aaron Murray's one big knock on him was, could he win the big game? And unfortunately, he couldn't win the big game until it seemed like 3 weeks ago against South Carolina. Everything changed for him, and won that game, and also won that game against LSU. And pretty much Georgia's really bounced back from that opening loss to Clemson. So, yeah, it's just. I think those two quarterbacks, they have. I mean, you got to put them in the conversation right now too, and it's just only going to make this quarterback class that much deeper, much deeper. And other games here too that are that also happened last weekend as well. Alabama just took care of Ole Miss 25-0. But I guess the other thing too is they finally did it. They finally fired Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, it had to happen. It was time it happened. But it was just, I don't know. It's unfortunate because he seems to be a likable guy. I mean, he keeps getting these high profile jobs, but it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I guess probably the reason is, I want to go ahead and say, does his dad have a little bit to say in this too? Because many people probably don't see his dad as has had at least a resume as an NFL guru on defense, and I guess they see Boy Wonder here and that he could probably be the same thing. I don't know, what does Lane Kiffin say in order to get these jobs, and what does he do in order to get these jobs? And it just baffles me, and I have a feeling that he will land on his feet somewhere. I mean, of course, he's gonna land on his feet somewhere. He's young, he still has a talent. He could possibly, he's a pretty good assistant, but I don't know if you would want him to be running your head coaching team. But hate to say it, it really had to happen. Anytime when you're at USC and you go 4-7 in your last 11 games, and you basically have an embarrassing loss like that on national TV, where you give up 62 points, and it seemed like that your defense was pretty much, your offense was pretty much stagnant in the games that we've seen so far this year. And he had to go, and it just was crazy that how they did it. They were flying into LAX, and they fired him right then and there, and he wasn't even allowed to be on a team bus.
That's crazy.
Cold worlds, but it just had to happen out there, and it just, I guess everybody's job is pretty much on the line on this one too. But I guess the most important thing is too, who's going to be the coach next year? I mean, who do you think could possibly step up and be there?
I mean, I have no idea. It's USC is a high-profile job, so the doors are open for anyone really. Some people are murmuring Chip Kelly leaving Philly to go to USC. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I mean, if Chip really wants to go out there and leave the Eagles high and dry like Bobby Petrino, then fine, be my guest. But I think that would probably put him in a bad light on this one. I think one of the things is just, and I think I said this on one show last night. You know, maybe a guy like Chris Peterson comes in, who has stayed in Boise, possibly wanted to try to stay at Boise and all that stuff. Maybe USC might be the job that gets him to change his mind here about staying at Boise. Or maybe they try to get some young hotshot coach out there that's probably tearing it up out there in a lower conference in this, that can go to USC. Jack Del Rio has been rumored to be in line for the head coaching job as well.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, I think the hot commodity is going to be a very big commodity here about who's going to get this job. Another coaching vacancy, well, another coach coaching job that could have a vacancy next season, or at least at the end of the season, is Texas. And Earl Campbell had some comments about them saying that it should be time for a change, and that Mac Brown should go. Now, the question here is, when do you think Mac Brown is going to go, and do you think he lasts the whole the season?
He's gonna last the whole season, but do I think he's coming back now?
Yeah, I have to say the same thing. He he's earned their respect to at least last the season. But nah, I don't think he's coming back to that situation. It's a little bit toxic right now. Texas needs a new fresh face right now. It's going to be interesting also to see who they go out there and get. Um, it's just unfortunate, but time for change right there. Texas has not looked like Texas over the past 4 years, and like you said, time for a change. So we'll go ahead and take ourselves a little break real quick. And when we come back, we will be talking about the upcoming week, giving us your predictions for that one too. We're also going to leave one game out because we really want to talk about that. I feel like that's going to have its own segment there. So this is the Gafford and Brown Show. All right, we're right back with the Gafford and Brown Show. And while we're actually waiting to go ahead and talk about our other topic here, let's give you guys a game update that's happening right now between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. We got ourselves some playoff baseball on the line right here. So, right now, the update here that we got is the Pirates are leading 5-1 in the bottom of the sixth inning. The Pirates right now are fighting here. The winner goes out there, goes to St. Louis to play game one in St. Louis at 4:07 Central Time. So that should be interesting too. We'll give you guys a little bit of a preview and I guess our picks also a little bit later. And be sure to stay with us with your updates. Coming into this now, we're just going to go ahead and preview this week, week 6 in college football. And looks like we got ourselves not as big as a slate as we did last week, but we do have ourselves some pretty good games that are worth mentioning about. And one of them is 7 o'clock game between Ohio State and the Northwestern Wildcats. Game day is going to be there actually at Northwestern. Here, so who you got in this
one? I'm gonna let you go first because I didn't think about this a little bit.
As much as I hate Ohio State, I don't know if the Wildcats are ready for this for the stage. I'm gonna go ahead and say Ohio State.
It looks on paper like it could be an upset,
right?
But I just can't go against Ohio State right now.
Right.
Not yet. But I wouldn't be shocked if an upset took place.
Right. I wouldn't be shocked either. Pat Fitzgerald really has these boys playing hard, and he's really changed the culture of that program. If they win if they win this game, just think of how that program would be. It would just be amazing right there if they win this game, and I can't see it happening. I think Ohio State goes out there and win this game, and I'll probably go ahead and say it's probably going to be by about a possession, 7 points maybe, something like that. But Urban Meyer, he goes out there and wins this game. Later on in the night, Washington takes on Stanford, and that game is going to be in Stanford. Both teams are also 4-0. Washington is number 15, and Stanford is number 5. Here, I think I might go ahead and say Stanford. Stanford's probably the most complete team outside of any team in the SEC. So I think I got Stanford winning this game. Who you got?
Oh, Stanford as well.
The CBS game, Georgia taking on Tennessee. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say Georgia in this game. Easy.
Yeah, Georgia. Just easy. It's been off this year.
Yeah. Let's see here. Other games that are also going on too, as well. West Virginia against Baylor, the rematch of that 70-63 game last year. I think Baylor's got this one though against West Virginia. They're probably gonna. I think Baylor's gonna basically score a whole lot of points in this game. Another game here that's also gonna be at noon. Florida State welcomes in Maryland.
I'm taking Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State. I think Maryland's 4-0 record is a little bit smoke and mirrors, and well, Jameis Wilson. I think he's the next big thing that's out there in the college football right now. So I'll go ahead and say them. Shifting things now over to college, or to the professional football here. The games that we're also having this week, week 5, starting things off here with most unlikely of Thursday night games here, Bills and Browns, that actually might now become a watchable game.
Yeah, it's definitely changed from being something that we rolled our eyes at to other people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking Buffalo still, but I think it's gonna be a close game.
Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and say the upset here. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Cleveland. I think Brandon Hoyer right now, he's on fire. He's on fire here. Browns are the home team as well. But I'm going to just go ahead and play with a little bit of house money. I say the Browns are going to go out there and win this game. 1 o'clock game, 12 o'clock game on Sunday. Saints travel to Chicago to play against the Bears.
I'm take Chicago.
I guess we're going to disagree on this one too.
I think they bounced back from last week.
I guess we're going to disagree on this one too. I think it's going to be the Saints in this game. Cutler had one of his Cutler games last week. I don't think he's going to do it 2 weeks in a row. But the Saints offense right now is unstoppable. They're right back to the Saints offense of old. And guess what? They got a defense now. So I have to go ahead and say them. Patriots and Bengals. Games in Cincinnati.
I'm picking the Patriots. I think they continue to do what they do best, and that's win.
Yeah, Patriots in this game. I don't think there's going to be too much of explanation on this one, especially if they get Amendola and Gronkowski back. I think the Patriots are going to go out there and win this game. Lions and Packers, that game is in Green Bay.
Go with the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead with the Packers too. Coming off the bye week. Nothing against the Lions, 3-1. But I think the Packers are going to go out there and win this game on this one too. Let's see here. Chiefs, Titans. This game is in Tennessee. Chiefs are 4-0. Titans are 3-1.
I'm going with the Chiefs this game. If they had Jake Locker playing, I probably would have picked Tennessee, but Fitzpatrick's a wild card, so I'm going with Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City in this game. Jake, unfortunately, what happened to Jake Locker? Get well soon. Have a safe recovery on this one. But the Chiefs right now, they're on fire. I think they pretty much got this here on lock. So yeah, the Chiefs gonna go out there and win this game. Um, Seahawks and Colts, another good game out here. This game is in Indianapolis.
I'm taking Indy. I think Indy wins this because they have the run game, they have the defense to balance out with Seattle.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna go ahead and say the same thing. Indianapolis here too because it's gonna be an early game. Seahawks were kind of sluggish early against Houston and came away late. I think the Colts have probably learned a little bit from Houston mistakes, and they're probably gonna go ahead and put away the Seahawks early. So I'll go ahead and say Colts win this game too. Um, this could possibly be one of the toilet bowls here, but I wouldn't disrespect the Rams like that. But the Jaguars against the Rams, this game is in St. Louis.
St. Louis. I think St. Louis.
Yeah, St. Louis, easy in this game. I think that the reason why St. Louis is as bad as they are is because of good competition. So now you got a chance to play against a team that could be somewhat like a slump buster. So the Rams, they win this game. They probably win this game a little bit big.
Yeah.
Ravens traveling to Miami to play against the Dolphins.
Man, this is such a toss-up right there. I'll take Baltimore. Why not?
Yeah. I might. Let me see. I might just go ahead and say, to be a little bit different, I'll go ahead and say Miami. I think Miami's gonna learn a little bit about their got a good lesson against the Saints last week. On Monday Night Football, that they're probably gonna go ahead. I feel like the Dolphins are gonna go out there. They're probably gonna go out there and win this game, and we'll see about that. If not, well, I'm basically gonna go out here and eat crow, Ravens crow. Talk about another bad game here. Eagles and Giants, both teams are going in the wrong direction against New York.
Man, this is so tough. I want to pick New York because I think they can't. I can't see them going on 5. After that Coughlin ran. You know what? Why not? I'm picking New York. That rant was pretty big.
Yeah. New York right now, they have to win one. They have to win one of these games, don't they? They have to. And I think this is the game right here that Eli Manning bounces right back. Because I can't see Eli going 0-5. I can't see a Tom Coughlin team going 0-5. It's going to be unfortunate, but yeah, Giants in this game. Easy. Not going to be easy, but I think Giants go out there and win this game. Late games is happening this week. Panthers against the Cardinals. Games in Arizona.
I'm taking Arizona.
I might go ahead and probably say Carolina. I know Arizona's the home team in this one, but I think Carolina with the bye week here. I think Carolina's going to go out here and win this game and go to 2-2. Sunday Night Football, which should be a pretty good one here. One of these teams is going to be under 500. One of these teams is going to be over 500 when it's all said and done. Texans traveling to San Francisco to play against the 49ers.
I'm definitely taking the Niners right now. You can show me that They're still that team that wants to be great, but they're just good.
Right.
And I'm picking the Niners right now. 'Cause I just think the Matt Schaub era is just it's been full of ups and downs. So right now it's in a down. So we'll see. But right now I'm picking Kaepernick and company.
Right. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, the Niners go out there, win this game. I got the feeling they're gonna go out there. Um, Texans, they might fall behind a little bit late in this game, early in this game, and that's probably going to be a little bit too much for them to chew on. So, Niners. Uh, our second quote unquote Sunday night game, and that's because of baseball happening. The Raiders against the Chargers. This game is in Oakland because of the Oakland Athletics playing early that day. So, who you got in this one?
I'm gonna let you pick first.
Chargers.
Why?
Um, I feel like right now Phillip Rivers is playing like the old Phillip Rivers that we had seen before 2010, where he's actually been a pretty good quarterback. He's had some flashes of being inconsistent, Phillip Rivers, but I think that he's right back. I'm really liking how this offense is moving right now, and I just feel like that they're going to go out there and win this game, but the Raiders are going to give it to the tough one, though, too.
I picked the Chargers as well. Even though this looks like a trap game, because we saw last week Matt Flynn had a pretty solid game against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
In the game Oakland should have won, but
Right.
I think San Diego wins though.
Right. And it's also going to be very interesting to see if Pryor comes back, too, because it looked like he was able to dress, I think, with the concussion issues, but was not able to start. So he might have those effects of being out there. So we shall see. And also, we got ourselves a home run right now in the Pirates game, and it looks like the Pirates are going to go out there in the postseason here. And just amazing right now how with this franchise. I think the last game also is going to be the Jets and the Falcons. That game is in Atlanta. Who wins? Monday Night Football.
God, just get a Monday Night Football game?
Yep.
Man. I can't pick the Jets. I just can't. I'm sorry. Well, you see the Jets getting the upset or?
No.
I just can't do it.
No.
I want to, but I can't.
No. Yeah, Atlanta's going to take out their frustrations from the New England game and just take them out over the Jets. Nothing bad against the Jets, but Geno, first Monday night game, I don't think this is going to really bode well for him. So, Falcons going to go out there and win this game as well. And if you notice, we didn't mention the game because, well, we know who we're picking in this game too. Like we said, that game is going to have its own segment right here as well. But I guess we'll just go ahead and state our cases here for the Broncos and Cowboys game.
Well, I think right now, even if I wasn't a Bronco fan, I'd probably pick the Broncos just due to their hot start and the way they look on paper, and the way Dallas just can't seem to finish games.
Right.
I mean, it's not looking good. That game against Chargers, Dallas should have won. I picked Dallas to win actually, and they let me down again.
Right.
And it's just that I put it like this: Monty Kiffin couldn't stop Oregon. I damn sure don't think he can stop Denver. And Denver's looking like the NFL version of Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see how that goes. And if he plays zone against Peyton Manning, Denver's going to score way more than 52 points.
Right. Because most definitely, if I had to put in my journalist hat right now, the unbiased journalist hat, I'd have to go ahead and say I would also agree with you too, and I will say that there's no way Dallas is winning this game. Broncos still go out there, win this game out there. I mean, because I mean, looking at how the Broncos have done over the past 4 games, it just seems like they've been killing teams left and right on offense. However, I am a fan of this team as the Cowboys, and I cannot do that, and I feel like that's going to rip my heart out for doing so. And I'll just go ahead and say probably the Cowboys. I have to say the Cowboys are going to go out there to win this game. It's going to be pretty interesting to see what type of Tony Romo comes out in this game. I know the Broncos have a very good defense. I know I'm basically going to pretty much back myself in the corner. I know I'm pretty much going to lose this bet that we're going to have. That we're going to
don't you never know. Hey, you never know.
You never know. You never know in the NFL.
That's why you play the game.
Exactly. But it just really depends on which type of Tony Romo comes out. If Romo comes out, does not have a mistake, does not have that many mistakes in this game, if the Cowboys show a little bit of a commitment to the run, I feel like the Cowboys' chances could be a little bit better than if they abandon the run and pretty much go out there into pretty much a shootout with Peyton Manning, because we know who's going to win that game. So, like I said, got to go with the Cowboys in this one too.
I tell you this.
Right.
To me, it all comes down on the defense.
Right.
Romo had a solid game. We just saw against San Diego. I don't think he cost them the game.
Right.
I think it comes down to Dallas' defense and what Monty Kiffin comes with against his Peyton Manning offense.
Right. Because,
like I said, if he does what he did against San Diego, and switches it up, stops blitzing and goes in the zone, he is going to get killed.
Oh yes.
So I'm just thinking it's on them this week.
Right. It is, and it is, and just the one thing here too is like, you also gotta force Peyton to make mistakes, and I know it's been easier said than done this year because, look at how Peyton's already into a torrid start. 16 touchdowns, no interceptions. I mean, he's on pace for throwing 64 touchdowns and no picks. He's also on pace to just go out there and just throw for a bunch of yards. I mean, darn near about, how many? About 6,000 yards or something like that. So he's killing everything right now. If you could just force him to make mistakes and maybe force him to get a turnover here and there. I know it's been hard. I know it's been a little bit easier said than done. But if you can force him to, throw that interception, get a fumble here and there somehow, chances of you winning this game goes up a little bit more. Looking at it a little bit too, if the Cowboys could show themselves a little bit of balance, if they could stop the run, and I know the Dolphins, I know the Broncos aren't going to go to the running game here too, but if you could just show a little bit of balance, if you could run the ball a little bit more, use DeMarco Murray there, let him be a little bit of a workhorse out there, slow the time, control the clock, get the time of possession out there, you might get a chance to win this game. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Maybe the Cowboys go 3-2. Who knows?
Right. I don't know. I just don't see it happening. I mean, don't get me wrong. Anything can happen, but I just don't see Dallas doing that. The team, I'll be realistic with you. The team I see beating Denver for the first time is Kansas City.
Right. And just really looking at that schedule right here, I feel like Kansas City would be one of those teams. If not Navesco, Arrowhead, definitely with those fans they have out there. Because I can just go out there with this Denver Broncos schedule right now and pretty much will say, I feel bad. If Dallas wins here, I feel bad for Jacksonville. And still, even if Dallas loses, I still feel bad for Jacksonville because Peyton might just throw up some amazing numbers. We might sell a line here where the Broncos are probably favored by 30 points, and it's going to be embarrassing here for Jacksonville. Um, I guess I'll just go ahead and run down like the rest of the games here, and you tell me if it's going to be. Well, we'll see, we'll try to see if it's going to be a win or a loss here. At Indianapolis, I feel like Peyton is going to win that game. At Washington's going to win that game easily. Bye week, San Diego they're going to win that game. I think that I have to agree with you. I think it's either going to be Kansas City or if New England gets their weapons back. You know how Tom Brady's going to be out there too. But the Broncos are going to go 14-2, 15-1.
Ooh, I can't. I don't like doing that because
I hate to jinx your team.
I don't like jinxing things.
I don't want to do that.
I don't like it. I think that's too high. I think 13-3 is realistic for me.
That's true.
I would live with 13-3.
That's true. And then also with one of these games here, let's say they do lose and they got everything wrapped up, you got to know that they're going to rest Peyton.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Here, in one of these games, one of these teams, they're going to get a chance to get themselves a win out here. Houston, Oakland, those last two games of the schedule right there. So they're gonna rest Peyton. I gotta feel it. They're gonna turn to Brock Osweiler. But 13 wins, 14 wins, 15 wins, maybe 13 wins probably if we're gonna be really safe on it.
Now, Dallas looking. How many wins do you see them finishing this season with?
Still gonna go with my original opinion of 10.
Yeah, 10-6. Yeah, that's the same thing. I think 10-6 is definitely realistic. That's why I really wasn't shocked them losing because I mean it's going to happen.
Right.
And with their division being as bad, they could finish with 11 wins.
Right, exactly. And hell, even 8-8 is probably going to be good enough to probably win that division.
Right.
To be honest, but I mean, at 10 wins, I feel like that's pretty much going to be the point right there because there's still some pretty decent games out there that they can win, and there's probably going to be some games out there that they're not going to win out there too. So I say 10-6 is going to be pretty good out there, and we'll see what also happens too. And here's the other crazy thing too. While we also have this game here, we have a fantasy matchup between both of us as well, where we both came from behind.
Right, and I haven't even checked my fantasy team right now to see who's starting. We're gonna look at that soon, but yeah, that's interesting as well. It's a pretty competitive week for us.
So, pretty much, I guess, should we decide this bet here, or should we let our fans decide this bet?
That's a good question. Maybe we can solve it right here. How about loser? I don't know. Where you want the terms to be? Loser, Facebook profile picture, what?
Facebook profile picture and Twitter profile picture.
Okay.
Loser puts up the logo, or at least some insignia of something that has either one of our teams out there for a week, and pretty much that'd be it.
I can roll with that.
I can roll with that too, because I know how much you hate the Cowboys. I know how much you hate the Cowboys.
Hate is such a strong word. Hate is such a strong word.
So let's go ahead and shake on it right here. We got it. It's all the way official. So pretty much that's what's going to go on as far as that bet. And I guess that's going to solve that one. And then we'll just go ahead and take ourselves another 30-second break where we're going to talk about some more stuff that's actually happening in the world of sports today. Give you guys another update as far as the baseball game is concerned. And probably try to give you guys a little bit of an insight here about this. I don't know if we're going to really make picks. But we're going to see the postseason. So we'll be right back. Gafford and Brown Show. All right, we're right back with the Gafford and Brown Show. Very good show that we're having so far. Right now, a little bit of a game update in the NL wildcard matchup. The Pirates are winning 6-1 in the top of the eighth inning. It looks like it's going to be all foregone conclusion out here unless the Reds can find a way to get themselves 5 runs in these next 2 innings. The Pirates are going to get that chance to go out there to St. Louis, and very fitting for that franchise. And got the chance to see some of the fans out there. It's just been electric. I think it's the biggest crowd that PNC Park has had ever.
Long time.
So I mean, you gotta give the hats off.
And you think with the season the Steelers are having, this is definitely the pick me up for Pittsburgh
Right.
sports fans.
Exactly. I mean, it's just pretty much it. It's just ironic here that after all of these years, the Pirates have been doing pretty bad. The Steelers have been pretty much carrying. It seems like both have flip flopped, and it's just crazy. But right now, you can't take away anything from the Pirates. Pirates mania right now. I just hope they continue to go further along in the world in this playoffs here. We will see if they do, but you gotta love October baseball.
Yeah, I got to. It's the perfect time to start watching. The perfect time just to get into it and get ready for the fall classic.
Exactly. And I saw the game last night here between the Rays and the Rangers. Unfortunately, the Rangers lost that game 5-2. The little play-in game just to get to the play-in game and just to get to the play-in game here. And it looks like Cincinnati got themselves a home run right now. So
Yeah, so we're 6-2?
6-2. Cincinnati's starting to try to come back a little bit, but I think this is pretty much going to be too little too late for Cincinnati right now. But we've seen some stranger things happen. But it's just so electric, and I really love these one-game playoffs just to get to the playoffs, and also just to get to the next round. There's just so much on the line.
Right. Now, are you a fan of the current wild card team?
Last year I don't think I was. This year I'm really gonna go ahead and say yes, because I can understand it from the perspective of the team that has a home game, that they might be 5 games better than the other team, and then they lose it just on that. But it just feels like this is a game 7 all together. Like, you got one game, one chance, one opportunity just to go out there, get to the playoffs, and extend your season. You lose the game, it's over. You win the game, it's here. I mean, you move on. And I think everybody just loves that. How about you?
The wild card thing, I think it was time. You see it in football. It's not really in basketball, but you have 8 teams to make the playoffs in basketball. I think it was time for it to happen. I'm not against it. I think it's interesting. It makes things fun.
Right. It just really does. You got your fan bases just going out there screaming their lungs out there. You can't really do it in all the sports here too, because unfortunately it just wouldn't be prudent and stuff like that. I mean, it would be amazing if you did try to make the first round of the NBA playoffs very short, like 5 or something like that. But it's just one of those things. It's just amazing. I guess it just brings out a whole lot that, once again, you lose, it's over. You win, you move on. And we got one more of those playoffs tomorrow with the Rays taking on the Cleveland Indians. Who you got in that game?
They're gonna pick the Rays in that one.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and say the Rays as well. I think the Rays are probably going to go out there. Seeing what they did against the Rangers last night was impressive. David Price pitched a great gem. They got themselves a young team, and I think the Indians, young, young squad, but I still think that the Rays are going to go out there, and they'll probably get that chance to go to Boston on Friday. So, with the first round now already in play, got some of these good matchups here. Now, if everything holds up, right now we could be seeing the Pirates against the Cardinals in this 5-game series. Who you think is going to win that game, that series?
I'll let you go first.
Pirates. Why not? This is your division rival. They know the Cardinals very well. I'm not ready for Pirates Mania to end. Pirates.
I'm gonna go with the Pirates as well. That's such a feel-good story.
Dodgers and Braves is the other NL matchup. That series is going to begin also on Thursday. That's going to be the late series. Who do you think is going to win that one?
You said the Dodgers?
Dodgers and Braves.
Oh, the Dodgers. They're hot right now. So hot. I think they're gonna win, but I don't want to count them out.
I don't want to count the Dodgers out. I mean, I really like how they've done, but part of me kind of wants to see the Braves go back to prominence. So I think Braves, we'll probably have ourselves a Braves Pirates NLCS like old times, and hopefully nothing else bad happens. So we'll see about that. In the AL side, the winner of Cleveland and Tampa Bay faces against the Red Sox. We both picked Tampa Bay, so let's just go ahead and say the Red Sox against the Rays.
I'll stick with the Rays.
I'll go ahead and say the Red Sox in this one. I think the Red Sox are going to go out there and win this game, win this series here too. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Rays do it either. And last but not least, the Tigers against the Athletics. That's the other AL matchup too. Game 1 is in Oakland. Who's going to win that one?
Take Oakland.
Shout out to Mr. ESPN, which we really got to get him on the show one of these days. Tigers. Tigers, yeah. They've been close the past couple of years here. That they're one of those teams that I just want to see go out there and win a World Series. So why not Tigers? Other things that are happening also in the world of sports right now. Hockey's back.
Yeah, it is.
So, we're not going to really give you guys a preview about hockey right now. I might try to catch a few regular season games this year, try to see the stars and stuff. So, we'll see how that goes, but I hope they do pretty well here too. Another thing here, looks like the government shutdown is also affecting sports too, and the Air Force and the Navy, they won't be playing against each other this year. Well, they won't. That game's gonna be postponed.
Man, that's crazy.
Right, and Army's also not going to be able to play their game against Boston College for right now. It's just crazy how this is also affecting sports, and it's just something. It's just
Yeah, it is crazy, and who knew the reach would be that broad?
Right. I mean, I hate to say it. I would not have wanted this to would not want this to happen. Didn't think it was gonna be this bad, but man, it's just crazy right now. And just maybe something will also come through and all that stuff too. Something to go outside of sports for a minute here. Just really looking at everything right now that's also going on. It looks like NBA, they got their some of their training camps are about to begin, and it looks like the media days is also out there too. So that lets you know
Yeah,
here,
we've seen some. As we mentioned earlier before the show, we were looking at the new Dallas Mavericks
right?
starting pictures and stuff.
Exactly, and right now it's nice to see that they have a sense of humor. Like I said, I still think that they're probably going to be a little bit of an 8 seed. They're going to be in that race for 8, so we will see. And also saw some news earlier too that Russell Westbrook looks like he's going to miss the first 4 to 6 weeks of the season.
Yeah, he's not put on a definite timetable. I was reading earlier.
Right, and I think that they are playing this one with kids' gloves. You don't want him to come back from something like this, um, and re-injure himself and be hampered here. It's going to be unfortunate that he does miss games. It's going to be his first regular season games that he's missed ever in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy as it may seem, but the Thunder out here thinking big picture. They got to think big picture here too, and we're gonna get the chance to see how does that bench hold up too.
Right.
Reggie Jackson, your time right now is right here, and you get a chance to prove yourself. Can you actually make that leap to be at least a second string point guard here too by getting first string minutes?
Right.
Other things that are also happening right now as well. The Knicks have picked up Mike Woodson's option for the 2014-2015 season.
How do you feel about that?
Probably well needed. Since Woodson's been on the team, Knicks had a renaissance last season, 54 wins, and made it and won their division for the first time in like ever. So I think good call. Good call. You?
Yeah, I agree. So it's a good call. I mean, he fits the team well. I couldn't see. Who else are you gonna get right now?
Right. I mean,
Phil, unless you get Phil Jackson, but I mean, we haven't really heard any much talk about him.
exactly. And so we'll just have to. Yeah, I think perfect call on that one too. More NBA news right now. Like we said, it's been official here that the All-Star game in 2016 is going to be in Toronto. So, and NBA 2K is out right now.
Yeah, it just dropped. Yeah, that's yeah. Are you getting your copy?
Yeah. Actually, I have it reserved at GameStop right now. I don't know if I'm gonna get it sometime soon. I will try to get it sometime soon. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun too. Um, Also, Michael Jordan said that Kobe Bryant is the only player that's in the league right now that could actually take him and that could actually play against him.
Yeah, he just loves Kobe. He mentions this all the time. Like he said,
exactly.
When he mentioned would he take Kobe over LeBron, he take Kobe, blah blah blah.
So yeah, you kind of have a feeling right now that this is gonna start another Kobe Jordan debate for the day, which I'm kind of sick and tired of. Anyway, the other thing is too short sleeves jerseys.
Yeah, you had a funny tweet about this. Said the Clippers like Louisiana, Texas.
Oh yeah, it really does. And a lot of people had said the same thing too. I'm not gonna really hate on the Clippers uniforms for that reason only because Louisiana Tech used to be the premier women's program up here, so I'm not really gonna. Would I get one though? No. But what do you think about this short sleeve craze?
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Kind of gimmicky, but who knows? One thing I will say is I'm glad it's not going to be worn that much.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's like what? How many games is it going to be worn?
I would probably say one or two.
Yeah, one or two.
Kind
of like Golden State last year.
Right.
I saw Phoenix's. They look weird.
Yeah, they do.
So it's something that I guess they're trying to expand upon, but I just hope it doesn't become permanent.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly, and I just hope I hope it does not really either, and it's just it just would look tacky. I mean, I know college players do wear T-shirts on under their jerseys and everything, but it's not really what I'm accustomed to seeing in the NBA. So yeah, uh, we'll see what's gonna happen too. Um, let's see here. What else is also happening as well too, and um, League Pass this year as well. That's right back into play, and now you can actually you can see 5 teams on League Pass as well. If you can get the full League Pass for $189, and then you also can pick your 5 teams for $129.
Yeah, I did the pick five last year. Um, it has its perks. You see the 5 teams you want to see, but at the same time, you have those sleeper teams that come up,
Mm-hmm.
and I think if I'm going to get it this year, I think I'm going to get the whole package.
Right.
But the 5 team is a great way to go if you have limited interest in the NBA and only want to see certain teams.
Exactly. Because I think I went over this with a friend yesterday, well, today, and actually looking at some articles online as well too. Because you kind of want to be a little bit strategic with those 5. You might not want to pick 5. Might not want to pick 5 teams that's going to be on TV all the
Yeah,
time.
like I didn't
Right.
pick Miami. I think I picked the Lakers.
Hmm.
I think I picked the Lakers, Thunder, um, Golden State, I believe, and I think the Knicks in Brooklyn.
Hmm.
And yeah, you want to pick teams that really aren't on TV all the time, but you do kind of want to pick. It's tricky. It's tricky. That's why I think this year I might just go ahead and get the full package, but I definitely don't knock anybody for getting the 5 team package.
Exactly. Exactly. If there's anybody that goes out there and gets those 5 team packages, I'll give you some teams that you pretty much should really look at. The Pelicans, that they got to be one of those teams as well.
Right.
Uh, Trailblazers, I don't think they're gonna have that many. I don't think they have that many national games here. But if you really want to see a good young team that has a lot of potential, the Pistons are also going to be one of those teams as well. That a lot of teams are going to get a chance that you might want to get a chance to see. And if you also want to look at Canada, hey, the Raptors. Um, I'll try to go out there and get the full thing if my first year of doing it. But if I did have to pick 5, I'd have to go ahead and say Mavericks. I did say the Pelicans earlier, but with so many of these games going to be on TV anyway, why really waste that? But maybe them. Um, the Blazers, the Pistons, and maybe the Kings or the Raptors or something like that. Because I kind of want to see how the Kings come into play. So we'll see about that as well. Also, another thing that happened earlier this weekend, the NBA Finals are likely to go back to the old format of 2-2-1-1-1 instead of the 2-3-2.
Yeah, a lot of people prefer that former format than this one. Of course, we've heard Van Gundy mention it a lot, but what do you think about it?
I've said this. I don't think that this. It looks, in hindsight, it looks pretty well if the teams are close together, like Miami and Memphis. However, let's say you got yourself a Laker Celtics game, a series here. You got 2 games in LA, go to Boston for 2 games. We got to go to LA for a game. We got to go back to Boston for a game, and then we got to go back to LA for another game. I think that's where it's going to be the problem at here too. So, I didn't really have too much of a problem with 2-3-2, even though it does give that middle team a little bit of an advantage. How about you?
I agree. I never cared for it because the best team's gonna win regardless.
Right.
But it does give the team in the middle a little advantage. But I mean, that's how it goes sometimes.
Right, exactly. Especially when you're in the NBA playoffs, I mean NBA finals, you got your two best teams out there. So I know home field advantage has a lot to say in it too, but these are two of the best teams out there. I mean, there you go. ESPN is going to ask George Karl as an NBA analyst.
That's good. I thought he's done it before, hasn't he?
I want to go ahead and say
I
yes.
think he's done it before. I think he did it briefly before he got to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a good pickup.
And he's pretty much one of the best basketball minds out there. Unfortunately, Denver could not make it out of the first round those years. But I mean, hey, he's pretty much he's gonna be all right in that one too. So
Right.
we'll see about that. But yeah, we'll definitely go out here and say we'll definitely go out. And I think also Drake has a little bit of a hand in the Toronto Raptors too. So yeah, that's gonna be something interesting. But we will, like I said, we will basically come out here and we'll talk more about the NBA as the weeks come, and especially also give you guys our preview, which we know that you guys will really love and have too. And let's see here, and then also looks like the NFL is also telling Glendale, Arizona, the home of the Arizona Cardinals, telling him to basically shape up their parking and stuff, or lose the 2015 Super Bowl events.
What's wrong with the parking?
I don't. It says still NFL executives. This is on USA Today. NFL executives are worried about three major issues: access to thousands of parking spaces near the stadium, Glendale hoteliers' refusal to well, let's see. Well, go ahead. We'll say parking near the stadium. I'm loading this up right now. Hotel. Let's see. Disturbed by Glendale's perceived lack of support in the 2015 Super Bowl, it warned that without a serious attitude adjustment that move all the non-game events to other cities. In that scenario, the Super Bowl will be the only one that's played in Glendale, but that would be the only signature event and stuff like that. So, stuff that kind of should not really.
Yeah, we're gonna take Super Bowl away from you because your parking sucks.
Parking spaces, hoteliers' refusal to guarantee room prices, and general lack of leadership by Glendale officials. So we're gonna basically punish the city for being, for lack of a better word, jackasses. Just because, and we're gonna punish the franchise for that.
NFL says when you roll out the red carpet, you roll out the red carpet. All stops must be made.
Yeah, exactly. And that's pretty much gonna be it. We got some suspensions coming. We got some people coming back with suspensions, including Justin Black.
Yeah, a guy who's been waiting to see. Oh, Pittsburgh claims it.
And the Pittsburgh Pirates have won their wild card matchup over the Cincinnati Reds 6-2, and Pittsburgh Pirates got themselves their first playoff victory since 1992. Let's party like it's 1992. And it looks like everybody's just so excited about this, and now the real fun begins. Now they get the chance 5-game series against the Cardinals, and it's just amazing. Like I said, it's just been amazing to see franchises that have been down for this long bounce all the way back up.
Always promising to see.
And it just makes me really feel like here, I would love to see the Royals try to do this one of these days. They were close this year, but let's see them. Maybe they'll get out here and try to do it. And I guess we have another. Let's see, another question here too that we had said a little bit after the show, well, before the show began. But let's say it here on the airways. Do you think that the Jaguars could be the Lions of 2008 or not?
I don't think they're going to go 0-16. I think they'll win at least 2 games. What about you?
Yeah, same here. One thing is Justin Blackman comes back, and I know that he's not the X factor, but at least it gives you another receiver for Chad Henne to throw to. And we've seen that Chad Henne and Justin Blackman have had kind of a report last season. That game against the Texans, where Blackman had the monster game here, where he had about over 200 yards receiving. So they're gonna win one of these games. I don't know when, I don't know where, but they gotta win one of these games. And I think their home games are San Diego, no, San Francisco, no. But I'll probably go out here and say that they will beat Arizona in Week 11. They will beat Arizona in Week 11.
That's the only way you go?
For right now, yeah, that's going to be the only one that I'll give them. Unless Indianapolis is going to probably rest their players and got themselves a little bit of a lead here. I'll say 1-15 for this team, really. Here, I thought the Cleveland game was going to be a little bit of a toss-up, but right now, I think Cleveland's going to take them. So 1-15.
Right.
1-15. So, I guess that pretty much wraps things up right now.
So we'll probably be coming back to you guys next Tuesday with results and more analysts on the game.
Definitely so. We'll try to get some guests as well too. And once again, for the fans, thank you for listening to us. This is the Gafford and Brown Show. I'm Lamar Gafford.
I'm Robert Brown.
And until next week, see you.